What's up, guys? Blade Master here. Gonna be bringing you another Total War Arena post battle commentary. I have taken Caesar in this matchup. We're fighting in Salernum. I'm playing with Voiddragon and Takisakis from the Sith clan. I really like Salernum. And by the way, this video is going to be a bit more explanatory than the other videos. I'm going to try and make it more accessible to the people who are not really playing Arena, so that they can learn a bit more about the game before they actually get into it. So Salernum is a map that has two zones. You have your town. You have a massive town with a Colosseum, and then that basically covers bottom and the mid section of the map, and then you have a top part which is filled with like fields and forests right up at the top. I don't personally enjoy going up top. I really love the town, and especially now you can see I've taken 11 here with Julius Caesar. I'm tier 4, as you can see. So tier 4 Julius Caesar going for the town is perfect because the thing about the town is you have a lot of line of sight issues, so that really can play into your hand as short range skirmishers much more than if you picked like long range, because you need a lot of line of sight for long range, whereas for short range they don't need much time to reload. You just move in, get up close and personal, just fire a couple of volleys and then pull back behind a building, and then the enemy won't be able to see you. So Julius Caesar has two very special abilities in the early tiers. He's got three, to be quite honest, but two are are like the most important for you early, like 3 to 4, tier 3 to 4. One is VENI, which you just saw me use. It has an area of effect effect. So you just click VENI on one unit instead of all three, and then you will affect. It'll give you a speed boost for all three of your units, because it doesn't really affect one. It affects that unit and all the allied units, so it makes it very powerful. The second one is VIDI, which does the exact same thing of giving area of effect buffs, but it does that for reload speed, which makes your javelins very deadly. So now you can see I'm moving up with Takisakis. He's providing sword support up in front. We can see some Principes there, tier 6 infantry, who are going to be very strong. They can of course throw Pila, which is why I'm pulling back my skirmishers. You can see they've hit me a little bit with their Pila too, but I'm pulling back behind Takisakis. I don't really want to engage front. I don't think Takis wants to engage frontally. He's got Hastadi and Hastadi. There's a big quality difference between Hastadi and Principes. Meanwhile, Voiddragon, I believe, has taken cavalry, and he's fighting up at the top. Although, to be honest, like my personal opinion is cavalry is also much better suited to the town, because again the same line of sight issues. You can just charge in very quickly, then pull back, and your enemy won't know what happened. One of the allies just got charged at by Hastadi frontally, and my javelins are doing an okay job, I would say, right now, but they're firing into the front of the units, which is not really what you'd want to be doing. It's not their ideal target, because especially like tier 5, tier 6 Roman infantry, Hastadi Principes, they have very good armor, they have decent base missile block chance, and then they have the ability to raise shields, which would give them an additional like 50% missile block chance. So again, just using Veni on one unit, I believe, and then that's affecting all three of my units, giving them that speed boost, allowing them to pull back behind that building. And now I'm going to use VD with one of my units, and that's going to give an accuracy boost and reload speed boost for all three of my units. Getting some more shots on that Principes there, so he's forced to pull out, and then pull out of that engagement and try and charge into my units, which is very good for the team, because he was getting a rear charge on Biggest Dickus there, which is, by the way, an excellent name. Again, pulling back, he's gonna move back, and then I'm just gonna fire and get some shots. And then again, just be a nuisance here with Caesar. But I can assure you, I'm not getting many points right now, because the best units for the javelins to be hitting are probably archers at this stage. In this tier, everything else is just very well armored. Maybe some unshielded Thureos spears, or like unshielded thorax hoplites. Of course, with Milty 80s, that's an option. If you have an enemy who has a Milty 80s commander, he can just drop shields to give them that speed boost, which is almost always, they always do that, because you need that speed boost. So here Takisakis is fighting up against Principes. I decide to get one volley off on the Principes, do some friendly fire, which is unfortunate, but then just firing into the units that were trying to support that battle, and then pulling out. And that's, I think, the same thing that I'm going to be doing here. By the way, the reason why why I've brought two tier 4 javelins, which are two velites and one or two leves, and one tier 3 javelin skirmisher, which is, I think, an Etruscan javelineer, is because I get a plus 30% boost to unit XP from diversity bonus. So if I brought three levies, then I wouldn't get that because I'm bringing three of the same unit. But if I can bring, even if all three of them are javelins, as long as they're not the exact same unit, you get a plus 30% boost. So again, you saw using VENI on only one unit, and then giving that speed boost to both of my units, and then pulling around the Colosseum, running away from those, from the chasing Hastati. At this point, though, I could probably just get one or two volleys off on them, and they'd just rout. Pulling back behind pikes here with another one of my units. Another reason why I like the town is because you just have so many avenues to explore. If you don't find favorable engagements in one, all it takes is maybe like a half a minute trip around the town, and then you'll find some more enemies crawling around there. So I'm pulling back here. You can see there's some javelins there. I need to pull back. That's because it's going to be 3 javelins against 1. I would definitely die in that. I would do decently just to kill off those Hastati over there who are prowling around. And it looks like I can kind of surround my opponent here, and just going to fire into these Principes. They've raised their shields, but they're just so depleted that it's really not going to matter. Splitting off in 2 directions with my levies, and one of them might just get charged at by those Roman infantry. Pulling around, getting out of the town with my Etruscan javelineer. And still 19 seconds left for VENI. I'm sure I can outrun most of those units. The Principes are very heavy, so they have all 3 chevrons next to the sword icon, which denotes their unit weight. Gives them much better charge bonus, but they're just not fast. They're very slow units. As you can see here, again, I'm just going to pop VENI to give them that extra boost. Here, though, not looking at my levies and just got charged at by a unit of Hastati. Not good. That is a very bad move. Going to use VENI again just to pull away. They did take a lot of damage from the charge, but honestly, it needs to be. It is going to get reworked in the latest patch, and you can see this very clearly happening here. I get charged at from the rear, just pull straight through those Hastati there, which is really not. It's a clear exploit. It shouldn't be. That shouldn't be the case. And they're going to change that in the latest patch. That's what they said in the latest rally point. The upcoming patch is going to fix unit collision and pulling through. Basically, it's going to be much more penalized. So now I finally regrouped all of my troops, and while splitting off your troops has its huge benefits. You're diversifying both geographically and against other units. You're going to be having units in separate areas of the map. They can cover more ground. They can find different units and different opportunities to exploit. But having all of your units concentrated into one area, if you can see a potential opportunity that gives you it, grouping all of your units in one area allows you to gain the most amount of points from that specific opportunity the quickest. Which is pretty, it's logic. That's like common sense. You have 3 javelin units facing up against 1 archer. You can just get 1,000 points in a couple of seconds. Whereas if you've spread out your troops, you can only use 1 javelin to exploit that opportunity. So here, one of my Etruscan javelineers just got charged at by the infantry. I'm not doing well there. But Voiddragon is doing pretty decently, 3.2k for him, and I've finally regrouped with my allies as well, so I can have some cavalry support at this point. You can see Voiddragons over there, and I believe at this point I tell him to just try and get help support this. Yeah, I tell him to get a charge in on that very depleted Hastati. That would be a perfect charge for him. He's got Scipio Africanus, which is not as deadly a cavalry commander as Alexander, but you can definitely do very well with them. So firing into the flanks of Hoplites there, and very graciously Voiddragon has just rear charged this other Hastati, allowing me to move up to the town and try and go for a quick little base cap. But it's honestly, I'm not going to be able to cap there. I just want to see what units are there in the base. Maybe just scout out for Void. And you can see there are some archers, which I immediately tell Void, okay, dude, I'm going to sacrifice my Etruscan javelineer here, so at least get some points with your cav and kill off that archer. I do have 2 more. I've got 2 more javelins. 1 full strength levies, and 1 kind of like half strength levies there.
Little monkeys.
And those are 2 Toxotai that the Equites of Voiddragon will do very well against. I'm going to pull up in front, just get some more shots on those Hastati and Principes. The accuracy kind of bugs out here, and they, for some reason, I just friendly fire the shit out of my own allies there, which is weird, because you can see I clearly targeted the enemy Principes. So right now, this one super depleted Principe is going to try and charge in, but just, yeah, that one volley is going to be enough to just rout them. And now what I'm going to do is just attack from both directions with two levies. So one is moving up to the north, and one is taking the eastern route, I guess, to the city. Just circling around, basically.
You're the one killing them.
Meanwhile, Void has done a very good job. He's got 4,600 points, just corralling all the Toxotai and then just killing them off with Scipio. And if with the Hoplites over there, he honestly, I don't know if he's like had it depleted. He could use just Warcry and then rout them that way. So I've got my levies here. They're firing into the enemy levies. Voiddragon has got some of the Toxotai pinned down, and then I'm just going to fire into them. And I'm going to do the same thing against the other Toxotai there, but my levies are definitely taking a lot of damage. But at this point, you know, it's late game. I don't mind losing some health on my levies as long as I can win out this crucial engagement and then get, you know, proceed on to capping the base. So yeah, at this point, you know, 3,000 points with, I believe it's like only 3,000 points that I've got, 3,100. Not really doing great, but 3,000 points with Caesar is usually on par with what I do, with how much I get with Caesar, for the most part, unless the enemy completely fucks up. I'm not really great with javelins. I much more prefer archers, because you need to be both, you know, quick to seize opportunities, and you need to be patient at the same time. Kind of like Cav, but they are not as quick. So here, so we're doing like a little carrot and stick thing here. Voiddragon has the horses as the bait, and then I'm just going to fire in from below and just completely destroy that Hoplite there, while staying in the base, giving me some cap points. I've gone up to the 3rd place, but honestly, it's been a very good team performance. Takisakis is 5th, I'm 3rd, and Voiddragon is number 1. And it is a victory for Caesar. It was well played by Voiddragon. I believe he kind of won us that match. And so did Roosevelt. He had Leonidas, and then apparently he killed 6 units with 2 Hoplites because he used Hold the Line. Could be a very strong ability that I need to explore. You can see the XP that did pretty well there with all of my javelins. Anyways, guys, that's the end of this battle. Hope you enjoyed and stay tuned for more. Peace.